Imagine this. You are floating in space, 200 miles above the Earth. There is no sound. There is no air. And the only thing keeping you alive is running out. He had 20 seconds of oxygen left. NASA never told this story. Most people know Neil Armstrong. They know Buzz Aldrin. They know the moon landing. But there is a name most people have never heard. Luca Parmitano. In 2013, he was a 33-year-old Italian astronaut. Quiet, focused, brilliant. He had trained for years for this moment. His mission was simple. Go outside the International Space Station. Do some work on the hull. Come back in. It was supposed to take 6 hours. It almost became his last 6 minutes. July 16, 2013. Luca floats out of the airlock. He is wearing a spacesuit, his only protection against the void. Minus 270 degrees Celsius outside. No oxygen, no pressure, no mercy. His helmet is his world. A small bubble of air between him and certain death. The Earth rotates slowly below him. Blue, peaceful, beautiful. For the first hour, everything goes perfectly. His partner, Chris Cassidy, is with him. They move along the outside of the station. They check cables. They replace equipment. Mission Control in Houston watches every move. Heart rates, oxygen levels, suit pressure. Everything is nominal. Everything is fine. But then something went terribly wrong. Luca felt it first. A strange sensation at the back of his head. Wet. He touched his neck. Water. That doesn't make sense. There is no water in a spacesuit. There should be no water in a spacesuit. The suit is a sealed system. He told Mission Control, "I feel some water on the back of my neck." Mission Control paused, then came back calm. "Probably just your drink bag, Luca. Continue the EVA." EVA means extravehicular activity, spacewalk. He continued, but the water kept coming. More now. More than a drink bag. More than a spill. It was filling his helmet. Here is what no one tells you about spacesuits. They are not designed to drain. There is no hole in the bottom. There is no place for liquid to go. If water enters a spacesuit helmet in space, it has nowhere to go, but up, slowly, quietly, invisibly. The water rose past the back of his neck. It crept over his ears. It moved toward his eyes. Luca couldn't turn his head fast enough to see it. He couldn't reach inside his helmet to wipe it. He was trapped inside a glass bubble, filling with water, 200 miles above Earth. Music, low, haunting strings. He kept his breathing steady. He told himself, "Stay calm, stay calm." But the water was rising faster now. It covered his ears. He could barely hear Mission Control. It crept toward his nose. He had trained for fires. He had trained for equipment failure. He had trained for pressure loss. Nobody trained him for this. Mission Control finally understood what was happening. "Luca, begin returning to the airlock. Now." And simple words. But here's the problem. Luca was on the far end of the space station. He had to travel back, hand over hand, along the outside of a football field-sized structure, in a suit filling with water, with eyes that could barely see. The water had now reached his chin. He could not speak clearly. Every time he tilted his head, the water shifted. His radio crackled. His vision blurred. Chris Cassidy heard the silence on the comm line. He turned and saw Luca, and his blood ran cold. Music, single low note, sustained. What happened next shocked everyone watching in Mission Control. Luca could no longer see. The water had covered both eyes. He was blind, moving along the outside of a space station. By memory alone, he pressed his fingers against the handrails he could no longer see. He pulled himself forward, inch by inch. hand over hand. He could feel the vibration of the station. He followed it. He counted the handrails. He had memorized the path. In the dark, behind the water, inside the silence, he kept moving. The airlock was close now. Luca could feel it, but the water had reached his nostrils. He tilted his head back, nose up, desperately trying to keep one last pocket of air. He later said, "I had to decide, do I breathe in and drown, or do I keep moving?" He kept moving. Chris grabbed him, pulled him into the airlock. The hatch sealed. Pressurization began. It takes minutes for the airlock to repressurize. Luca did not have minutes. He pressed his finger into the neck seal of his helmet, a desperate, improvised move, and created a small gap, just enough. The water rushed out. He gasped. He later told investigators, "I had perhaps 20 seconds of usable air left, maybe less. 20 seconds, not 20 minutes, not 20 hours. 20 seconds. NASA released a report. They called it an anomaly, a water intrusion event. A fan had failed inside the suit's cooling system. Water that should have circulated through tubes had leaked instead into the helmet. They fixed the suit. They reviewed the procedures. They moved on. But here is the part that haunts people. This was not the first time. Just 2 weeks earlier, on Luca's first spacewalk, water had appeared in his suit. A small amount. Easy to dismiss. Mission Control had noted it, logged it, and cleared him to go out again. If they had grounded him that day, if they had investigated the suit more carefully, a man almost drowned in space because of a warning that was already there. Luca Parmitano survived. He went back to space in 2019. He even did more spacewalks. He said he was not angry. He said he forgave the system. He said, "Space does not forgive mistakes, but humans must." But here is what stays with you. Every single day, astronauts float above us. In a station the size of a football field, held together by bolts and trust and checklists. They smile for the cameras. They wave from the cupola windows. They look peaceful, and the whole world watches and thinks, how incredible, how safe, how far we've come. But 200 miles above your head, there is a man or woman in a suit that could fill with water, in silence, with no warning, with 20 seconds left, and nobody on the ground will know until it's already over. Luca Parmitano returned to the ISS in 2019 as commander, the first Italian to hold that role. He never stopped going to space. If this story moved, you share it. Most people have never heard it.